And we are live. Hello, anybody and everybody out there. This is Al Simpson of, I guess right now it's Bunny Goes to Space is the thing. I'm with Lisa Malone of Malone Management and Bob Herron, both of which have been integral to the success of the campaign. For anybody who backed it, I just want to say thank you, and it's much appreciated. It's just been it's been a lot of fun. It's not over yet. I don't want to act like it's done, but we're getting pretty close. I want to thank Lisa for shouldering most of the work having to do with the actual page and coming up with ideas, and of course Wendy Shaner for all her fantastic, brilliant magic, naughty fairy dust that she throws in everything.
Yes.
Lisa, you want to talk a little bit about the campaign and just stuff in general? Things you're working on? I know you're working with your other clients too.
Yeah, actually, this has been a really fun campaign for me to work on. Alton's been great to have as a client, and we have really been able to structure out some success for him in this new venture that he's had. So that's been amazing for us, especially testing the waters with a new character and doing an art book. As for my other clients, I have two other campaigns that are coming up. On April 25th, Ted Davies will be launching Grimm 101, which will be a watercolor-based book. It's very interesting. You'll have to check the campaign out for some more information in terms of because I don't want to give it away. It's really cool. It's very supernatural. And then April Reyna, who actually did covers for you, is doing Rising Tides, Tales of the Deep, which is a mermaid book. So it's going to be mermaids and mermen.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
pretty
that'll
cool.
be cool. That'll be for the month of May.
When's her mermaid thing coming out?
So she's going to be running that the whole month of May.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
It looks, interesting. It's another area that somebody's going in that's, different. But then you bring in, she does her thing, and I don't know. I'm just curious. Whenever you see these things, you always want to see what people are doing. You're like, wow, that looks cool.
Oh, she's been sending me stuff, and I'm telling you, oh man, her colors are on point.
Yeah, it's like a kid at Christmas. You don't know what's in the package yet. You're just excited to see what's in the package.
Yes.
So Bob, what's going on with you, man? Bob is another artist who worked on Vampires in New Jersey, the last Kickstarter, and then on this one, Bunny Goes to Space. Go ahead, Bob. What's up? Good to see you, man.
All right. Busy drawing your book, which is a Westchester. Which I'm excited about and having fun with. But I get carried away, and I want everything to be so perfect. So I'm like doing all this great stuff with it. Then I'm still working on my projects, which would be the Night Terrors horror anthology series of like mini comics, and my vampire comic Tormentia.
How many of those are you going to do, Bob?
Oh, you know what? I'll do as many as I can think of.
That's good.
Like they're just short stories. They're just a way for me to get something out there. And it's like every week I come up with this new cool idea, and check it out. There it is.
We'll plug Bob there.
Awesome.
I
come up with something, and then I'm sitting here on my computer and I'm writing it down, and then I'm drawing some sketches of people to like try to put the idea together.
Right.
And I don't know. I have fun with that one, but again, it's like a thing where it's like I'm working on one thing, but I have this great idea and I don't want to lose it, so I stop that, switch over to here, and try to get that down, then come back over to this or whatever. So that's basically all I've been doing.
Yeah, I'm the same way. You want to get when you're thinking of it, you want to get to it as quick as you can. So,
but Alton and I know that very well. We take care of things very quickly.
Yeah,
right.
And it comes up.
I want to get it down, but then it's also like I get it down and I have a great idea for it, and then a week later I'm like, man, if I add this to it, it'll be awesome. So now I'm like redoing some stuff or changing something around or something like that maybe I didn't like originally, and then jumping back to another project and doing that.
Cool.
So it's been.
Hold it, I lost your sound there. What was that, Bob?
Oh, I was just saying it's been work, but it's been fun.
Hey, Joe. Joe,
I'm just working on several different things.
Okay, cool. I just want to say hi to Joe. I'm typing and trying to.
Hey, Joe.
But it's not working. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah, the campaigns have been surprising. Probably the most surprising thing was the glitches we had with Kickstarter, which was, which apparently is a thing that I didn't know about, that more than one person has told me was a problem while they were doing their Kickstarter. And Lisa, being proactive and much like me, angry that we couldn't get to people, took the whole thing to Indiegogo, and we funded today with that. So, which is cool. I really appreciate your effort. We recaptured, the momentum that we were losing by being stuck for those days. And some of the people I talked to about that said their problems went on for a week or so. So I guess we were lucky. It was only like four days. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, shout out to Russ Allen for fixing that.
He's the man.
He is the man.
He pressure. Well, people were telling me they were telling me they were having a problem, and I said, "Well, I can't fix it. You had to tell Kickstarter." And Russ took the initiative and actually took video of it and sent it to Kickstarter so they could. He's like, "This is what it is. I'm seeing it right now. It does exist. It's like finding a UFO or something." He had proof. So they were proactive after that, and they actually went in and fixed it.
Yeah, we had to do that because they were giving us form letters back. So yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, Joe, the campaign's running on both Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and it's funded on both, which I'm proud to say. I don't know if that's been pulled off before. I'm sure it has, but it's nice that we did it. Indiegogo is always a whole different thing. My first campaigns on there that flamed out horribly after the first 2 days. I just lost total momentum and confidence, and I didn't even know how to really market anything. So it was a learning experience. I did get 4 people though, which I feel guilty about. I feel like I want to go in and contact those 4 people and get them Vampires in New Jersey somehow. Maybe I'll do that this week. Because they really, if you like something, you guys know, if you see like a movie and nobody likes it but you're like, that movie was for me, or that was made for me. And you really want it, even more because you're like, it's cool because I like it. So, they probably never got, although they might have followed the Kickstarter when I finally got to that 2 years later. But I feel like I want to get this stuff to everybody who wants it, and that was the frustrating thing with Kickstarter. I mean, when people literally are, sending you messages, dude, I really want to buy this, but I can't, it breaks your heart a little bit. So, we've been lucky, but we've been focused, and that helps. It helps to be both and prepared. It helps.
And fast.
Well, you are. I can think of things to do, but I can't always do them. So I'm a fast thinker. But I remember my first Kickstarter last year, this time with Wendy. I mean, she's California and I'm New Jersey, but we would both wake up in the middle of the night, whatever time it was, and like have an idea and text each other. Like our phones were like buzzing because, it was all the excitement of the first one and what's going on and what are we going to do? And it was just back and forth all the time. Like, oh, I have this idea. Oh, I have this idea, So that's always fun, being able to reach new people that way. So, but I've been, like I always say, I've been lucky with it. Probably the next Kickstarter will be The Witches of Westchester. I wanted to do another art book to get artists' interpretations for variant covers, but Bob, if you're finished, we might just go with the comic. I have to decide.
And you plan on doing that in the summer, right? June, you said?
Yeah, well, it would be July. But I mean,
it'll be done by then.
Yeah. I mean, if it is done, I would feel guilty keeping it from people, but I still like the idea of these art books because it gives people a taste of it to see if they really are enjoying it. You know, if
it's a good idea to do that. Judging from how Bunny Goes to Space.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. I never thought of it until I couldn't do the calendar because I was so late starting. And I said, I see people doing art books. Maybe I'll just make it an art book. And it, you know, apparently that's what people like. So that's cool. Along with the other stuff that Lisa and Wendy came up with for the stretch goals. I had one guy, I don't know if it was a comment. Maybe it was a comment. He's like, I really want that CB Zane stretch goal. Oh, I just want to get to that.
Yeah, so, that's at 15,000. So we'll get there. We'll get there. The next one is a really cool one, though. I just want to talk about it for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a homage multi-pass that is a reference from Fifth Element. So it's one of my favorite movies. And so it's going to be on metal. Wendy's going to print those for us. So that's going to be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's unlocking at 14,000.
Yeah, it's come up. One thing I want to work with you, Lisa, was my I hit the wall last time as far as the stretch goals because I didn't get everything in for the stretch goals, but I had all the comics. So literally it was like one little stretch goal thing was holding up everything. So I think in the time between the end of the campaign and when the money actually comes through, which seems like 100 years, I'm going to work on actually. It seems forever because you're like, this campaign, where's the cash? And there's like nothing coming, you know.
Right. But, and then one day it's there.
Yeah, it seems like a long time. But what I want to do is work on getting the stretch goals, you know, in before I order the comics. That way, when the comics come in, it's like right out, you know.
Yeah.
That's my big thing. I really want to fulfill as quick as possible, which is good because then if you run into problems, you still feel like you're working on it. You know, you haven't sat around and said, oh, I said August, so I got until August, you know.
Right.
No, I'm not. I mean, I literally, and I think I said this on last time, I literally get things in the mail and I'm like, when did I do this when was this Kickstarter? Because it's like 8 months later, it shows up. And I'm like, it really shouldn't take that long. You know, some things aren't done though. I do understand some of the bigger projects, you know, they have a bunch of artists on it and it takes time to pull it together. I know I'm on Brian Silverback's project now. I worked on that like 2 or 3 months ago. And you know, it's like 15 or 20 people on it. So that's a lot to pull together to get the product out. So I understand that, but you know, let's see. Jack Napier, art books are always good as long as you have wonderful, great artists to work with. Yes, Jack, I've been lucky. That artist will work with me. I mean, even when I got Kara, I had no idea what I was doing. You know, I got connected with her and I was just like, you know, I started looking at her stuff and she was doing a Kickstarter and it was like, it was just taking off. And I kept looking at it and it was like, when you see a Kickstarter that's like exploding, you just like this every day you're like, what is going on with that? And the numbers are like, with her, it was like, you know, crazy. And I was like, well, I guess I'm working with the right person, you know, and then I met her and then it was like, yeah, I'm definitely working with the right person. So I've been lucky to work with you guys and the other artists. I'm willing to work with other artists too that I couldn't, you know, they got too busy to work on this campaign. But I will say I'm happy to work with anybody I've already worked with because everybody's turned in really cool stuff. I mean, even with vampires, when I don't offer everything I do on Kickstarter in the stores. But what happens is some of the store owners follow my Kickstarters and then they're like, dude, that's Steph Wilson, or dude, like the one guy, Panther Comics, he was a Steph Wilson fan and he was just like asking me about it. So I just gave him that print and he's got it hanging in his store now. So that when people come in, they're like, what is that? You know, because they're not on Kickstarter and they don't know the indie world. So it's very interesting, the art I'm getting for the Kickstarters. And I like that it's special to the Kickstarters. But some of the covers, like April's cover, was like really popular for the vampires thing. And that's the one I went with for the stores. I didn't even go with I took her variant and made it the main cover. So because the store owners were like, we really like that, you know?
Sure.
So, but most of the time I try and make it special. With Bunny, I just said, this is for Kickstarters. For the people at Kickstarter, this is my gift to you guys. I'm not going to offer it really anywhere else. A couple of people were like, can you offer it at cons? Which, you know, when I finally get like, you know, a more up-to-date con setup, maybe I'll get a Bunny thing and have some stuff there. as the character gets a little more popular. But mostly for Bunny, I really wanted it to just be a character for people that like Kickstarter. And it seems like it's breaking through. So that's good.
Hey, you never know. You might be able to hook up with Kara and have her cosplay and be Bunny Babe.
That would be insane. Yeah, we were all talking last year. We're going to find a con we can all go to together, so we can actually hang out, which would be cool.
That would be fun.
I know they're starting to do cons now. I know my buddy Henri Kampen is doing. He's doing one out. I know he's from Chicago area, so he's doing one out there now. So I think as things get better with COVID, things are going to open up, and more and more people will be at the cons, and then we'll be able to get back to a little bit of normalcy, which will be good. Yes, Mark, Kara is the best. There's nobody that's ever going to disagree with that.
I don't think so.
No, even if you haven't met her, and and when you meet her, it's just like, well, at least I didn't even know you were there too, so I met you too.
Yeah, inadvertently I took that picture.
Yeah, crazy. It's like that loop just went right around and came right back.
Yeah. Hey, that's the way the world works sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that's good, But yeah, you don't think of how things could go, and when they do go that way, it's really special. So I appreciate being able to work with you. But Bob, yeah, people are asking about Witches of Westchester already. I get people just saying, one guy today, I get really nice stuff, from people. I suppose once this gets really big, if, when we get to that point, I'll get hate mail like everybody else. But right now it's like, they're like, one guy was like, I buy whatever you do.
I buy whatever you do.
I buy whatever. I'm like, what? I'm like, nobody says that to me. What are you talking about? I buy whatever you do. But he feels like, I've done my 2 Kickstarters before. I delivered, and he trusts me. Mm-hmm. So I value that. Then I'm like, I really got to keep this guy, happy, give him what he expects, but that's good that he has, confidence in what we're doing. So, but it's nice to hear that type of stuff. But yeah, when they couldn't get there, I did get a little bit angry. What are you doing? I want to get my bunny. I want to get my bunny stuff. What is going on with this Kickstarter? I went to other Kickstarters and it worked, and yours doesn't. And I'm not happy. I'm not a happy guy. George is not happy. So I'm just glad we got through to people. So it's been good. Jack, Jack's got some good long questions. Do you guys think cons will ever go back the way they were, or that they'll be subsidized with what's been happening on the internet, at least from the creator's point of view? That's a good question. What do you think? Is that too long? You want me to read it again, Lisa? Bob, what do you think?
Oh, no, I got that. I think cons are not going to go back to the way that they were for a while. Right. Just because they took a huge hit. They're still taking a huge hit this year. They're just going to be small, intimate events for a little bit, and we're just going to have to deal with that.
Right. It'll be a gradual process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take time just to get for people to get confidence to want to go, to want to be out, and that's with everything, But I think as time goes on and things get better, people get used to the idea first, and then I'd say in a couple of years we'll be back to the way we were, because it was raging last, before COVID hit. I went to C2E2 like Lisa, and it was
packed.
I was just like, this is, I would say, ridiculous, but there was enough space to get around, but it was a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
When I was in line, it was like, in Philly, it would be like a block is long. It was like 3 blocks, 4 blocks, 5 blocks of people to get in. So it's a big building, but it was full. So it'll take a while to get back to that, volume of people. But I know people are hungry for things. The Kickstarters and the things online have been good to reach people for me. I didn't really think about it until, a couple people told me try it. And then it worked out that I have broadened what I do through online things. And I've also met you guys and a lot of other people to have a nice, cool network of people, nice community. I was talking to a friend of mine today about it, and he's like, what's it like with everybody? And I said, you have a small percent that really complains about everything, but you have that at your day job. You know, you always have like a small group, high school, college, pick any time in your life. There was always this little group over in the corner that was everything is wrong and this is not right and whatever, you know. And then you have other people who are like, especially with this, they, you know, as long as you can put your love of comics first and your love of art or love of media, movies, film, whatever it is, I think that's fine. I think that separates out the differences that people have about everything else in this country. If we can all agree that, you know, this is cool and we enjoy it and it's just fun, I think we can get back to you know, a good level of communication. But it's, you know, it's difficult to get through things. But I, you know, and somebody, I was on a show, I was on, what was that last show I was on, Lisa? It was,
Joe?
I keep thinking of Geekgasm, but it was the show after Geekgasm. Yeah.
Yeah, Jody McPhee.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody
or Phil Russard's show. One of the two.
Oh yeah, it was Phil. No, it was the bigger show where it was like 10 people, and I kept crashing out of the show because I tried to use my phone.
Oh geez.
It didn't work. I got kicked out for like 20 minutes. Like, Al, are you even coming back? I was like, I had to get my wife's laptop, which I'm using now, and boot it and remember my passwords and all that stupid stuff. But they were talking about Comicsgate, and I was like, I totally was like, what are you talking about? Because I know about it, but I said, you know what? If you're busy like working on your comics and creating stuff, you don't even know about this stuff going on. You really don't think about it. You're like, I just want to make cool stuff and have people enjoy it. And that takes, when you're an independent person, that takes like 90% of what your effort is. You don't have any percentages left to mess around with. This person said this about me, and why did they say that about me? And I don't like this person, and you know, I like everybody.
Yeah, that's well, because like I'm on Twitter with that, and I follow a bunch of comic book people.
Yeah,
and they're tweeting like 400 times a day. I'm like, where are you getting the time for this?
Right, right.
I mean, I just have it up on the screen while I'm drawing or whatever, but I'm like, I'm focused on this. I can't, you know, I'm not typing every other minute about what I'm doing here or whatever, because I guess I'm focused on that.
Well, I work on stuff until, you know, I release it, and then I'll come out of my cocoon and be like, hey, you know, like you only had to be sick of me for 21 days this time. I mean, I'm keeping it to a nice window of Al Simpson is annoying the heck out of me, and then I'm gone again, you know. So, but yeah, I don't have, I mean, you only have so much energy. And when you have a family and other stuff to do, you know, you really just want to enjoy what you're doing. And you can't enjoy what you're doing if you're worried about all this other negativity, you know. And,
well, it also helps when you have an extra set of hands to take some of that stress away from you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I only have two, but
I need to get a couple.
Well, no, I'm talking about me.
Yeah, I know. I just messing with you. Yes, you are my other set of hands. But yeah, there's a lot of that. And when they mentioned it, I was like, I don't even. It's like telling me it's raining. Like you know, there's a hurricane outside, and I'm in here typing.
Right.
So, which is better? I think it's better to be really into your whatever it is you're working on, and then you know. Bob, you're working on something. Lisa, you're working on something. I see it. I go, wow, that's cool. I check it out a little bit. I mean, that's so much more fun than tearing down each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I post in some forum groups on Facebook, and once in a while, like I post it and I forget about it. Okay, because I'm back to doing whatever. Right? I just wanted to share. Yeah. And then I'll go back and like I'll get an alert and it'll be like, hey, you have 78 comments. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. And then I go over there to take a look at it and I'm like, oh my God, all of this is horrible. I had one time I like took a nap after I drew something, posted it. I come back and again, it was like 100 comments and it was only between 3 people, 2 who hated me and 1 who was taking up for me that I've never spoken to before. But that guy was working hard to fight my battle for me. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's ridiculous. I mean, with me, it's like if I really dislike something, I want to get away from it. I don't want to spend an hour typing about it. Right. So as soon as people complain, I go, if you hate it so much, why?
Seems like it's hard that people even put likes on a Facebook post anymore because it takes too much time. But they have time to spend 3 hours writing all of these comments or whatever.
you have too much time on your hands, Matt Jones says 90% of the time when you get notification like that, it's not good.
I got excited. I'm like, man, 100 comments? I bet they're all good, right? And then like, I checked it out, and no, they weren't.
Yeah, it's perplexing. I know I'm on a couple of blogs that are private blogs. I'm not going to name the blogs, but it's something class I took to help with Kickstarter. So people probably know what I'm talking about. And I posted like the first picture CB did a bunny just to post it because everybody else was posting. And somebody said, well, you never post anything on here. You're like in the class thing, So I threw it on there. And I think I probably told Lisa and Wendy. Some guy took it who's an artist. First, he complained about it like really bad. So I was like, well, no, it's not like a critique thing. You can like it or dislike it. It's just something I'm working on. It's not a big deal. Right. But he the hand is wrong. And this guy, I would do, So I said, well, this guy's driving me crazy. So I deleted it. I literally deleted it. I said, well, I'll take it. An hour later, pops up on my thing. I'm like, what is this? I go back in. He had downloaded the picture and redrew the whole thing and wrote like
an artist fix.
Yeah, and wrote like 100 things that he did to improve it. And I'm like, I went to the guy running the blog. I was like, what is this? And he's like, well, Al, in art school, people critique and they take your work. And I'm like, dude, I'm not in art school. That's my brand. Mm-hmm. I go, I don't want him like messing with it, redrawing it. That's not cool. Right. That's my brand.
Without permission.
Yeah. And he didn't say anything to me about it. He just took it. Like, I'm just going to fix it. It's like,
another thing I see a lot of on Twitter are the redraws or I'm fixing your artwork.
I don't understand that. Like, just draw your own character, dude. Or whoever. Just do your own thing, and let me appreciate it or, get away from it. Either way, it's about doing
I feel like these people are trying to say, hey, I'm the good artist. You need to check me out and not these other people. So I'm going to clean this mess up and fix it. But really, all you're coming off as is a complete butthole.
Yeah.
So that's what people are getting from that. They're not getting that you're a good artist.
Yeah, I prefer them to just come out and say that, not try graffitiing something that looks fantastic to me. I mean, CB's picture turned out to be fairly iconic.
Yeah.
Because people really, that Maryland thing, they buzz around that picture. I hear so many comments about it. I'm just, when I was on Geekgasm, somebody's like, I'm mesmerized by that picture. Like I'm literally just staring at it. And I'm like, well, that's good. That's a good thing. So yeah, but I prefer people if they think they're fantastic, maybe they are, I'll work with you. I'll try, I'm not against it, but don't just yank stuff and do weird stuff with it. That's strange to me. It's like, why would you want to do? I'm a writer. I wouldn't take one of you guys' stories and rewrite it and post it online. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I fixed your story for you.
Your ending was horrible. Yeah, your ending was horrible. I made it this way. I mean, who does that? That's weird.
I mean, again, that effort could have been put into them creating their own thing, right? Instead of tearing down your thing.
Well, then maybe they'll be good. They would be good in Hollywood because they rewrite and redo everything all the time. And the great Russell Allen is here.
Hey, Russ. Woo woo.
Hello, Russ.
I'll be on Russ's show tomorrow night around 9 o'clock. I think it's 9 my time. So I'm looking forward to that, catching up with him, talking to him about his successful Kickstarter and what he's working on. Russ is always a good guy to talk to, hang with, just a good, family man. I love hearing, talking to him about stuff that's going on. And that's another connection that I've made in the last year that's really special. So thanks a lot, Russ. I appreciate everything you do. And of course, Jack's there too. I've been so far so good. I have a lot planned for this year and hopefully I can get to it. I don't know if I'm going to do Kickstarter for everything because some of the stuff is like people subscribe to Blackjack and they're waiting for issue 3. It's literally like that. It was in stores. I put it in Jay and Silent Bob's with Vampires and it sold with it. So really both those sold out up there. But I don't get the Blackjack because all the hype is about Vampires. But people are like, dude, issue 3, where is it? So I got to get to that. Werewolves number 2 and 3, possibly, and Ron Batchelor is the artist for both of those. So he's been eager to get back to it and get them out there. You know, COVID threw us off last year, and I'll see what I want to do with those. But in the meantime, for Kickstarter, you know, Witches of Westchester looks like it'll probably be able to do some business. The art book will probably feature, just so you know, Bob, we can talk shop, I guess, since you're here. And you too, Lisa. You're always trying to get me to Zoom, so I'm Zooming. The only reason I'll tell you, Lisa, I Zoom all the time with family and friends. And after this year, I am Zoomed the F out. I'm dizzy with Zoom. But it isn't that I don't want to talk to you. I enjoy talking to you. You're a pleasure to discuss things with. I'm just like, you know, and then my wife's, you know, usually coming up with, oh, I'm weeding out here. You haven't weeded this year. You know what that means.
The honey-do list.
Right. You haven't, I'm weeding. I didn't see you weed a thing yet. You know, so that stuff I got to get to. And then, you know, kids, my one kid works and it's stuff, you know, he's not driving yet. He's getting his license this month, which will be something else, but it's a lot of different things, but hopefully I can get to, you know, what I need to get to this year. So I just like to set the bar high, and that way, if I don't hit the bar, I'm coming close. So, but yeah, there'll definitely be stuff going on. I mean, I haven't even written lately because I really feel like I've written so many books. I want to just get those books out. You know, there's 5 books of blackjack, 10 books of vampires. I only wrote that 1 issue. Well, actually 2 issues of witches. You know, they're sitting around. I mean, I know writers that write stuff and it just sits around forever, you know, because they never get to do, like, they write a script and they go, I'm going to sell that to Hollywood one day. And I read it and I go, this is really good. I'd like to see this movie, but you got to get that out somewhere. That's why I've been telling them, do a graphic novel, do some interpretation of it to get it out to people so they can enjoy it. And maybe it will turn into a movie one day, but at least you're getting feedback on it and people are enjoying it, because everybody does what they do for people to enjoy. They really do. You know, they enjoy it. And it's like, I want to share that enjoyment with other people. So writing stuff and stick it in the, what's up, Phil? Phil Russer's here. Yeah, right. See, I always say this, Zenonite, is that right? Titan? Live on Broadway. Yeah, but Russell's book, live on Broadway, he just said. That's the type of thinking I tell people. Who knew Legally Blonde was going to be a musical? You don't know what your property is going to be. It could, think of it as anything, you know, and see where it goes. But yeah, I've been lucky. So we did our half hour, Bob. I'm not going to squeeze any harder than that.
Yeah, that's cool. I was pulling up stuff on here for Witches of Westchester.
Oh,
I didn't know if you wanted to maybe share a little.
Oh,
you know, that's up to you. I mean, these are just pencils. Okay.
That's fine. I'm okay with whatever you show me.
Putting stuff together, but
I'm like a little kid.
I'll do a screen share. You want me to do a screen share?
Yeah.
All right.
Just tell me Santa Claus is in the house, and I'm excited. So that's
here.
Fine.
Put me in the back room so we can see more of his screen.
I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to take. Well, how do you do that? I want to throw you out.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
I'm gonna.
And
what? I remove you, Lisa? I don't want to remove you. How do I throw you in the back?
I don't know how it works.
It's just kick from studio. That doesn't sound good.
No, you might. Yeah, kick from studio would definitely.
If I remove
me,
I'm going to tear you out of it. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I think it just puts me in the back.
All right, we'll try it. Goodbye. Yeah, you are in the back. All right. I'll put myself. I can't put myself in the back, can I? Go ahead, Bob.
I have no idea.
I don't want to throw myself out. Oh, here's your screen. All right. Okay. Add to stream.
Okay. So just again, pencils, laying everything out, getting everything where it needs to be.
Nice.
Okay.
I haven't even seen this yet, people.
There's more.
Which is a Westchester reveal.
So
nice.
You can see what's going on there. Again, it's just a few pages I got here that I opened. Give you an idea.
Nice.
And
here's my boy Stan.
All right, so that's
Very cool.
it right there. Just and then of course, like something I was just inking while we were talking.
Go ahead. Nowhere to run. Yeah, I saw you post online.
How do you stop the screen share? Oh, well, okay, there we go.
Yeah, let me bring Lisa back.
Everybody can come back or whatever. I thought you might want to see some.
Ta-da!
Yeah. I'm learning
stuff
as
or
I
whatever,
go.
so I was opening up.
Very good. Hello? You still there?
Yeah, he's just lagging a little.
Well, we bumped a little bit.
Me.
Mark says that art looks wicked. Yes, it does.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun kicking that starter. I can't wait.
I usually don't even like showing pencils because they're just pencils. I do it very rough, and then I do most of the drawing inking, so a lot more stuff's going to be put in there.
Yeah, but it looks good now, Bob. So that's
thank you very much.
Yeah, that's good. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that. Yeah, the art book will probably focus on the main characters, the four witches and the professor or the teacher. So, and people can pick whoever they like out of that group if they want to do, certain character. They can pick them, or they can do all four. I don't really care. It's kind of craftish, but we're kind of going to give them their own personality so they don't look like they just jumped out of a, magazine or whatever. If people still do that.
Okay, guys. So I hate to interrupt, but it is time for me to go.
I appreciate the reveal.
No problem. Thank you for having me on and hanging out and everything.
Yeah, we're just about done. I just wanted to thank the backers for their work, and thank you guys for what you do. I'll let you go. You out? You out?
Hey guys.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, Bob.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, Lisa. Anything else you want to get out there?
Well, one more thing. Kara Nicole, she has Fire Bitch 2 on Indiegogo on demand right now. Nice. Yeah, you got to check it out if you haven't backed it. It's really hot. 35 covers to choose from. Wow. And they're all big name artists. So there is some really amazing stuff on there.
That's good. Yeah, that on demand thing, I'm going to have to see. We'll talk about that to see, what I want to do. A lot of it is I just, I don't have an opinion on things. I just don't know how things work half the time because when people do it, they're busy doing it. And it's like, you can't stop. It's like somebody's building a house and you're walking in the construction area going, so what are you doing? And they're like, what? I'm building a house. What do you get? So I don't really want to bother people when they're in the midst of going on with their thing. But I need to, you and I will get together and talk about that and among other things for what to do to close out the campaign.
Absolutely.
But it's been going well, and we appreciate everybody. I appreciate your work that you've done, Lisa, and can't do it without you.
Thank you.
And things are going. I'm glad the year is. It seems like a lot of Kickstarters just blew up or opened up, and that's good. So it's a lot of action going on. And then with the cons starting to come back, it's it looks like a much more positive year than last year.
Yes.
So that'll be good for people.
And Russ Allen is killing me with his comments right now.
Yeah. Just imagine the ears in front of Bubble and back, making boobies. Yeah. Well,
he wants his bunny in space slippers.
Yeah,
I believe they were demanded.
I'm trying to think of what site I used. Was it Cafe Press? I think it's Cafe Press where I made you could get a vampire's shot glass or vampire's underwear. You get anything. So I'll look on there and make you some bunny slippers there, Russ. So I'll be sending you a link probably after the Kickstarter with bunny slippers. Then you can get your pair.
That is awesome.
You pick out which logo you want and we'll slap it on something. Which character. I'll see. Actually, I'll mess around with it because it's weird when you have a picture how it fits on there. But I can do that. We can do the bunny slippers for you. Bunnies in space slippers, I should say.
Bunny in space, yes.
Yeah. So, all right, I'll let you go, Lise. I'll talk to you probably tomorrow. But yeah, two funded campaigns at the same time.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
That is for indie people that is not giving up. You know what I mean? So that's cool. And we got more stories to tell, so there'll be lots to do. All right.
All right.
Thank you, Lisa. You have a good night.
No problem. You too.
Thanks everybody for clicking in, and short and sweet tonight. I'm not doing a marathon. Russ is cracking me up. Oh, Alfred Pennyworth just showed up too. What's up, Alfred? Alfred and Jack Napier. I feel like I'm in the new Dark Knight movie. Very nice. Love that stuff. All right. I'll see you guys. Take care.
Bye, guys.